All right, let me start. Let me, full disclosure, I'm really excited about this interview. All right, let me go again.
Give thanks.
All right.
I as well.
I had to pace myself.
I as well.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Jamet Nation, we have in our presence a Calypso monarch. It's things all here. You have to tell me if you throw away the Y on the Chucky and it's now Chuck Gordon.
It's just Chuck Gordon. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we dropped the Y because we ain't questioning what we're doing no more. We know what we're doing.
Excuse me. All right.
Yeah, but it's more so for a more mature sound, you know. I find have a nice little ring to it to bring in the family name too now, you know, the Chuck Gordon have a vibes. As you just say it's things, I just say it's the vibes.
Beautiful, niceness. Mad. So yeah, in the Jamet Nation for the first time. So welcome.
Yeah, my favorite show these days, by the way. Love the work you guys doing. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
We taking that gas up.
I tell Forbes that. From inception, I said Jamet, 2 Jamets right now is the greatest education we could get. And I know that is one of the main objectives of the program. So
yes.
Big up to all you on that.
We taking that.
Yeah. Mad.
What has Chuck been up to? What has he been doing?
Yes. Well, apart from working on the musical side, also doing a bit of academic work as well, preparing to get into some further studies, right? Both of which, both musically and academically, I'm trying to find a kind of marriage in terms of what I'm seeking to do, which is something I think you all are also focused on, which is, you know, focusing on the root and the tradition of the thing, where we come from, understanding that and bringing that to bear in this modern space now, because we're really struggling with that, you know. So on the musical side, I didn't do anything for 2 years. This year was the first year I released a song called Bad Gal Rona, right? Go away, Rona.
Hey.
Gal is a dirty vampire. Go away, Rona. If you know it, if you don't, check it out. It's on YouTube. Right? Bad Gal Rona. Which is my attempt at firstly time stamping the pandemic, which is our responsibility as Calypsonians too. So when we look back, we could say, hey, this is the period, but also using the Calypso form and the devices to bring forward that song with the Calypso feel, but with a modern treatment. So again, that marriage again, trying to strive for that balance always. You know, so that was the first song that I released in 2 years, and it came on the back of a lot of relearning, research, retooling, understanding the musicality of things, what I've been doing, and looking back also at what are some of the techniques and processes that some of the greats used to apply. So, you know, that took some time, and Rona is a kind of a result of that. So that work continues along with some other academic work moving forward. So plenty things, plenty learning, plenty work, plenty studies is a lot. But we're giving thanks, man, because we enjoy what we're doing.
Oh, beautiful. So you're going for the doctorate or the master's? What is this now?
Well, yes, I don't want to preempt anything yet.
We have to manifest it, you know.
We have to manifest it, yeah. But we're in the process of reading to get into the program, because you know that requires some pre-work. So that is what we're about right now. So yes, we completed the masters already. That's all I could say.
Pushing for the doctor, all right? Yeah. All right, okay, all right. I prepared my mouth to say Dr. Gordon. All right.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't be the first.
Niceness.
Yeah, love.
You are one of the Calypsonians who has come through the ranks, i.e. doing junior Calypso and then going into the big boy space.
Yeah. The senior realm.
Yes. And you also have experience in the performing arts.
Correct.
as an
Correct.
actor. People don't know this about you, you know, that you're an actor.
I have a thing where I used to say it. I don't use it so much because I know I try and be a little more humble these days. But touch all touch all bases, grace all stages. You know, basically that has been the experience so far, and not just on the calypso side, and as you mentioned, theater, but we did a lot of parang as well. And also we touched the soca scene as well. So we were able to make it to the Soca Monarch finals on a number of occasions, placing second on one occasion, indirectly becoming the Groovy Monarch of Trinidad and Tobago, because the person who beat me was Biggie Irie. He was from Barbados. So we yeah. So we do things, man, as you say, things.
Yeah, I think that year as well too is when they decided that they would then call it the International Groovy Soca.
Correct. And well, actually, the year before was the first year, I think. No, actually, 2005. Michelle Sylvester had won it, and that was the first year that they actually brought the split between the Power Soca and the Groovy. Following year, I think, was Sherwin Winchester, and then you had Biggie Irie. But the previous year in 2006 was my debut in both senior calypso and the senior soca. It was my first ever attempt to do a soca song, making it to the Groovy finals, and then also making it to the Calypso Monarch finals as well. So that was a big year, 2006. Yeah, man.
So being a young veteran, as you would say, how have you experienced the changes? Because we all know there have been changes, but how have you as a performer and as an artist experienced the changes in the scene of calypso and soca?
Yeah, well, the industry, particularly on the soca side, I think changed where the sonics of it transformed. So that is one aspect you have to pay attention to in terms of the evolving sound and what people gravitate towards. The calypso, I can't say the same thing. I think the calypso kind of regressed a little bit over the years, and I think that regression has been happening since the 90s, because the songs became a little more formulaic in nature, and a lot of the calypsonians, as opposed to those greats of the past, didn't try to achieve that balance between commentary but still making people enjoy themselves, you know, along the lines of what people like Stalin used to do, and Rudder and Sparrow, and you name it, you know. So there was a direct separation, and that separation, I think, worsened over time, right? So in terms of the changes, and as I mentioned, the sonics of particularly the most ascribed to music, the soca, that changed as well, which further, I think, alienated what I call the calypso man, right? So me in the middle there trying to navigate that space, when the when the separation became even more rife, it was a bit difficult to manage. Yeah, because I study and now I could just do me, you know, in this space, which is what I want to do, and which is ultimately what I have to do, right? But it would have required a little more attention to detail, which I don't think I was prepared to do at the time. And hence, coming through the years after 17, 18, I experienced a little bit of a dip. And that is simply because I think the industry changed, and particularly the soca side of things. There was a lot more cliquism involved. Some people will call it the mafia. People started to jump up together in their groups, and, you know, DJs start singing more, and DJs and promoters linking, and, you know, the whole shalala and the whole story. So that changed the whole dynamic of the game too. You know, so I wasn't prepared to function effectively in that space. But as a hindsight is 2020 vision. And when you experience something and you can come back and collect yourself and check yourself and realize, hey, I have a mission or a purpose to fulfill in this space, in this way, with my unique style and manifestation, you know, it brings you a level of cultural confidence, as it would. So that's the best way I can answer the question. There were changes structurally, musically, but my way of adapting to it was to get back into self more, focus on the root, and understand that I have a unique style and vibration, as Brother Resistance is say, to bring to bear. So that is how I choose to approach it moving forward. And as I said, Runa is a manifestation of that vibration. I hope I answer your question, you know.
You did, you did, you did. You did. I'm very curious about the relationship that you had with your dad.
Right.
Because your father used to come in my primary school and lime with Miss Rousseau, who used to teach in my school and then who became the principal of Newtown Girls RC.
Right.
So I met your father beating drum. Was doing some school activity, and I was like, but this man got a real sing. Next thing I go on Best Village, you see me and I see him on the stage.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know about you guys' relationship and how he influenced your career.
Right. Well, Papa was a Rolling Stone, eh? Papa was a Temptation song, you know it?
Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Yeah. Daddy was like that. In the early years, I mean, honestly speaking, and this may have contributed to a bit of my difficulties with processing emotions over the years and all of that, right? So there's a good and bad. So to the man that was musical arranger, accompanist, Best Village, Best Village director, judge for Pan, judge for Soca, judge for Calypso, you name it. He was extremely busy. So there was some distance in the early period. There were days I didn't see Daddy. And as I was reflecting on something just the other day, and I was saying, you know, I remember when Dad used to be home, I used to be so surprised and so excited at the same time, because a rare occurrence now. But what he represented and who he was brought so much love, joy, and service to others. And you know, that was the amazing lesson for me. And in terms of his personal contribution to my life, naturally, once you're exposed to something, you'll grow to love it. So he provided that exposure to the culture, to the art form, to everything he did. When he was home, bet your bottom dollar, he was home working on music. Or somebody he arranging something for a group of people home, or somebody child he having in the living room taking through the paces. Yeah. And but he placed an important emphasis firstly on education. He always used to say that was the foundation for him. So anything school related, anything in terms of our requirements academically or extracurricularly as well, he made sure and made his presence felt and provided as needed. But on top of that, when it came to me expressing interest in singing Calypso, he went all out. So that is where the closeness and the bond developed, particularly in my teenage years coming up. So that is where I was able to experience the man fully. I mean, he taught me a lot of things about life, some of the darker things of life too. But yeah, he definitely was somebody. He was an enigma of sorts, but he was able to steer me through both pillars that represent who I am today, which is academia and music. And that was his vision. And up until his passing, he set that foundation in motion. And the relationship got really, really close. I don't know if it might see it as poetic in some way. He died at the point at which our relationship was the closest. And you know, and at that point in time, I started to regret not trying to be closer. But then, as I gotten older, because he died when I was 24 years old. That was 11 years ago, right? And so looking back through the years, I'm thinking to myself, but you know what? With the consciousness that I had, I did the best that I could. And the relationship was as it needed to be. And I was able to learn even more about him after his passing, in terms of some of the things that people have said, some of the lives that he's impacted, you know. So overall, his relationship to me is me appreciating the service and the joy that he brought to people, which is something that we all could learn.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Being of service.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And in that vein, is Chuck Gordon working on his legacy now?
Yes.
He mentoring anybody? You have a little protege or few?
Well, actually, I do counseling. I'm a social worker by profession. But I am not the traditional counselor, social worker. I realize that the youth and them in this time require different kind of interaction. So I adopt the mentorship approach. When it comes to them, a lot of them are interested in music, so I'm able to provide support and guidance in that regard, you know. And then of course you have a number of younger Calypsonians coming through who also ask for guidance and support, and of course who I think might be interested in doing some collaborations within the future. So yeah, and I mean, for me, the legacy has to be layered. There's levels to the thing. You have your individual legacy, but in terms of the work that you put forward, that's also your legacy. You know, that's what you leave behind for people to remember. So yeah, we can only legacy at multiple levels, I would say. Multiple levels.
It's things.
The vibes.
Let's talk about your relationship with Amrit. And the Pan music.
Yes.
Because when we did an episode on Pan recently, we play a couple songs and I said, but Chucky, really working with Amrit boys. What is this? It's a magical collaboration. So I want to talk about that. What was the genesis? And what is it like working with Amrit? He seems like a bit of a genius.
He is actually, very much so. Actually, the relationship started with the first song that I recorded with him, which happened to be the last song that Daddy witnessed me do, which was 2010, right? Yes, there's an interesting connection there. And so from there, I suppose, producing the song with another guy by the name of Kareem Brown, who also works with NSSO. So they both collaborated on the production. And from then, we always maintained the link and the relationship. And when he decided he wanted to go in the big band category, which was in the year 2016, you know, given some of the things that I was doing in the calypso scene and the soca scene, he said, you know what, you might be the best person to vocalize the song for me. And that brought us the Supernova song. Like a supernova. Yeah, big tune. They actually placed second. 1 point, very contentious. But that was the year also, interestingly, that I think the panorama had transformed or converted or reverted, as it were, to people doing popular songs. I think that represented the change in Desperados in 2016. So, you know, I think if Desperados had gone with an original song, Supernovas might have been able to take the edge, but the popularity of that 2016 composition made the difference. But anyway, as I already say, I digress. Yeah, so that turned out to be a very successful production. So we followed it up in 2017 again with another one, Rumble in the Jungle, which wasn't as successful. And then you realize that, you know, in order to maintain what was happening in the Pan world, he needed to go in the popular songs, right? But that's just in terms of the process of working. But we also did a nice number for the Olympic Committee called Bleeding Red, White, and Black. Yeah, so that was part of the Olympic campaign and that kind of thing. But in working with the man, as you say, he's sort of a genius. Absolutely. I mean, the son of Jit Samaru, you expect nothing less. Stickler for detail, brilliant mind in terms of his melodic construction, and he's also a very good lyricist. A lot of people might not know that. He's a very, very good lyricist. So I think we, in terms of our energies, we kind of connect really well. He loves some of the ideas that I bring forward, and he's always open to change. You know, it has some calypso writers now. Nah, you can't change a line. Nah, leave my thing just so. so, so the collaboration, and there's a kind of I should say a synchronicity in terms of how we work. You know, we feed off of each other. We both have the same objective in mind, and I respect everything that he does. I don't question anything. I don't doubt anything, because I know he knows his stuff. He's detail oriented, and he's a brilliant mind. So it's a fantastic experience working with him and others. There's many I could mention in the same vein, but Amrit is definitely one for now and one for the future. Big one. Big up you, Amrit.
Yeah,
man.
I am learning how to listen to pan tunes. For me and Shannon are teaching me. I'm learning. I'm a student of their school. And so we were going through Rumble in the Jungle, and they were teaching me about all the progressions and how this is the song, and this is the pan arrangement here now.
Right.
And I said, but look at this, is a nice combo. Here, I'm showing off the finals when they actually did it. I was like, but this is the same song. I was like, oh, blew my mind.
Yes.
And I love that he works with young people. I appreciate that so much.
And actually, we have something coming up. Yes. Let me let a little leg of the cat out the bag.
A Jamet exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. We
have something we're working on later to be released later this year. So look forward to that.
So besides working with Amrit on this, what are you doing to move forward and moving forward in terms of going into 2023 and beyond?
Well, we've been in studio religiously. Yes. And part of that process coming out of, as I said, the period of learning and retooling is to kind of experiment with the form, the calypso form now. And to try to, as I keep telling the producers, hey, it's not just calypso, you know, we're looking to push it to make sure it could sound good to an untrained ear or somebody who don't like calypso. That's the work that we keep pushing, you know. So we're experimenting with the form and with different songs. So so far we've put down probably 4 to 5 songs since February. And when I say songs, I mean in terms of demos, structures, and that kind of thing. So, and want to be released very soon, within the next month or so. We ain't sticking. We're not sticking at all.
Are you gonna do an album?
That is also the intention. But the focus now is to create a body of work that now I could move forward into my own shows, in addition to some of the classic songs, as it were, from the past 5 to 6 to 7 years. The songs with the likes of Ray Holman and these people. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, you know the Jamet Nation here. We as Ray Holman fans.
I know. I mean,
it's
Dr. Ray Holman, you know.
That's what journalists call him, the condensed milk fan.
Nah, he's something else. He thought working with him actually taught me a lot as well, you know. So yeah. Part of what I'm experiencing now is a direct reflection of the work that I did with him we worked for about 5 or 6 years consecutively. Yeah. So that's the thinking. And well, we also have a project coming through for the Independence to Republic period. Forbes is a part of that as well. So yeah, she thinks. Yeah.
Pops and raps. Yes, so they pull she out because she don't be singing and thing, you know. So I don't want to harass me when she wants to go live and think to be singing, but she needs to sing. Yes.
And showing off any people to jam it.
Understand? Do you have any advice? I mean, I was a girl.
Oh God, I don't like. I find it hard to give advice.
Yes. But you know, maybe a guiding word for the youth who would like to enter the arena of calypso, soca performance,
yeah. Well, I will be biased to say, right? And everybody have the purpose and the mission and the thing. I will say, listen, let's try and focus on the root of this thing. Let us try to remember always in everything we do, the foundation, and everything will be added onto it. You know, not to sound biblical or anything like that, but you know what I mean. You know, because we doing things and we understand where we come from. So the feeling and the transformation that could take place in terms of what we're doing, you know, the social and the economic transformation, because we're talking about making music and carnival and Trinidad sustainable, but nobody don't want to come and see nothing that is inauthentic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so if we focus on the root, we could find back that authenticity, make it into something, you know, meaningful, meaning it spiritually and emotionally, and then things go happen. So I kind of try to, anybody I talk to, that is my go-to credo. Focus on the root. Let me get back to the foundation, understand what obtained before, understand what people have been doing, understand the original intention of the thing, and make that your focus and bring your own uniqueness to bear out of that. So that is as much as I could contribute to
know where you come from, to know where you're going, and be yourself.
Yes.
For those of you who understand what you say, that is what you say.
In other words, yes.
And know where you come from.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It has been an absolute joy to chat with you. I hope we get the opportunity to do it live soon.
For sure, for sure. When we bring in this show, we will come and we will have a extensive, because we didn't really talk the things yet. That's some things to talk.
We have to go in deeper. We have to get more philosophical. We have to have a Chucky episode. Yeah. And then we will show the transformation from Chucky to Chuck.
Yeah. It's the vibes.
It's the vibes.
Say less.
It's things.
I love that too, brother.
Blessings to you, my brother.
Love.
And we'll
Thank you for the opportunity. Two Jamets to the world. Boom, bang.
Hey, niceness.